and let's get some comments going here. And I think we are live. So, man, I'm halfway through this thing, I guess, more or less, and I'm still going strong. Even though a lot of my friends thought that I'd be passed out within the first hour or two. So happy to welcome
Somebody, can you hear me now?
I got you now.
We lost audio.
Out of beautiful South Florida. We're still working through some technical issues. I can hear you and see you, but unless you want
I may
blank
have
on,
to go out and come back in. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep. Can you hear me? Oh, now I lost you, Ron.
I'm gonna have to go out and come back in.
Okay. All right. So listen, in the days of COVID, and if you guys are doing Zooms for work, this is no big surprise, right? We probably got 1 million people on not on this one, but on StreamYard today. So we'll get Captain Ron back in a second from South Florida. It looks like a beautiful day down there.
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
I got you now. Can you hear me?
So as soon as we started this thing, somebody tried to FaceTime me. I lost everything. Sorry about that.
Yeah, actually, the same thing happened for Sean last segment, where he was going strong, and then somebody called him and he ignored it, and it kind of dropped out the audio. So, listen, if you're a friend of Captain Ron's right now, please don't FaceTime him. All right. He didn't put on the.
Friend of mine, that could only possibly be 2 people. So
Listen, he didn't put on this fantastic outfit to be interrupted on this live stream. All right. So, how you doing, buddy? How's everything down in South Florida?
Well, partner, let me tell you, it's hotter than Hades down here, but we're having a great time, man. It's hot. We're doing. I got a heck of a steak on cooking right now, man. So we're having a good time. How are you?
You know what? I'm actually feeling pretty good. I'm pacing myself. I have run out of Lone Stars, and so I got to switch to a big old crowler of a local brew, supporting my my friends down at Brewery Sylvaticus here in Amesbury. But it is just like you. You know, our weather can be very unpredictable here, and we fortunately got a beautiful, beautiful day. Had a little bit of rain very early, but it's warm. There's a little bit of a breeze coming through, and I'm living the dream out here on the back deck.
That's a beautiful thing, man. That is a beautiful thing. Well, we just had to step outside because I had to check my internal temperature of my steak I got going. And you know what? I started as a joke, but now I can't lay off my Texas accent.
So Ron, listen, I know you from Instagram and Facebook and all the social media. I've been following you for a while, and I think you and I kind of first connected over a little bit of Blackstone stuff.
Yeah.
Through my Blackstone boys. But you know, you're a big just as I love my Big Green eggs, you are not only a Big Green egger, but you're part of BGE Team Green. So why don't you tell us a little bit about, I don't know, take us back to kind of your start in barbecue and grilling, and then how you got into Big Green and being one of their team members.
Well, sure. Thanks. Yeah, you know, it's kind of funny. You know, growing up, we used to go on the boat or whatever. We come home and Dad would always grill up something. I always kind of enjoyed the grilled foods, you know. So then my first real job, I worked in a pizzeria, managed a pizzeria up in Long Island, New York, or for you down in Long Island, New York. But I fell in love with cooking there. My grandma was a hell of a cook, you know, and I just fell in love with cooking. And my career path never took me that way, but I've always done it as a hobby. And I started to really like barbecue food. So I decided, hey, let me give it a shot. So I went out and I bought a giant pit trailer, 250-gallon smoker, offset, stick burner.
Wow.
You know, just dove in way over my head, you know. I was the master at the creosote burger and the bitter brisket, I called it. It was really good too. So I decided that was for me. So I decided to start smaller, and I went with one of those stand-up, a red Brinkman, where you had to adjust the coals every 15 minutes and impossible to keep the temperature going. And but I was starting to learn a little bit about fire control. And I know before you were talking about learning fire control before you get into all the easier ways of doing it. And I'm a big fan of that because it taught me so much about cooking, you know?
Sure.
But I always knew Big Green Egg. I consider Big Green Egg to be like the Ferrari of grills, and I always admired them. And so one year, my parents said, "We want to get you something real nice for your birthday." So they bought me a pre-owned Big Green Egg, and I didn't really use it a whole lot. You know, use it here and there, make a pork butt. You know, 50-50 on making a good set of ribs or not. And I went to an egg fest here in Florida. It's the Sunshine State Egg Fest, put on by Wassie's Meat Market.
Yes.
And it's actually the largest egg fest in the country. And man, oh man, I got hooked. I mean, you know, I was in 100%. 2 weeks later, started an Instagram account. You know, and that was about 2 years ago.
Oh, so that's just 2 years ago, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Not actually June. I think June 21st, I really started my Instagram or something. Or that might have been when Wassie's was. But from there, I just started really figuring out that I can make anything on this egg. And my big phrase I always like to use is that if you can cook it on a stove, if you can cook it in an oven, you can cook it on a grill, you can cook it on a smoker, you can cook it on an egg. All right.
Yep.
So I just started posting pictures on Instagram, and I started a Facebook group because I wanted to build the community down here. And wanted to say, hey, you know, build the Big Green Egg community a bit, and just say, hey, you know what? I want to connect with other eggers. I want other eggers to connect together. And man, oh man, that took off. That if anybody's interested, it's called Big Green Eggers of South Florida. Feel free to join. You don't have to be from South Florida. But yeah, it's been a crazy ride. About a year into it, Big Green Egg kind of just sent me a note one day, and they said, welcome to BGE Team Green. I was like, wait, you know, it actually wasn't that specific. It was like
they just assumed the sale, yeah?
Yeah, it was something like, we like you for BGE Team Green or something like that. I'm like, what does that mean exactly? You know, like, does that mean I'm in? I'm not? You know, I mean, I go on Instagram and I go online. I see these people that I looked up to and everything like that. And all of a sudden, I'm a teammate of theirs, and that's just absolutely
awesome.
astounding. You know, and from there, it's just been such a fun ride, man. Just a fun ride.
So I'll tell you that it's so. First of all, I'm amazed. I mean, just 2 years into the whole Big Green Egg game, I'll tell you my quick little Big Green Egg story. So, I kind of like you know, my dad loved to cook. He loved to barbecue. And then when I was in college, and I played basketball in college, I played overseas for a while. But all my buddies in college, all my basketball buddies, we all grilled. And you know, back in California, that was in fact, one of my buddies that will be wrapping up with me tonight, one of my Ribberfest OGs, B. Moody, is from Santa Maria. So I know, you know, anybody in this game knows what that means, right? That's the home of tri-tip and really what California barbecue is kind of known for. And so anyway, long story short, I had, like you, I had a old crappy Brinkman, and then I graduated to a propane cabinet smoker, and I had an old Oklahoma Joe stick burner, and but I'd always been familiar with Big Green Eggs, and other than knowing that they could kind of do everything, I didn't know a whole lot. But there was a store near me in Santa Clara, California, that did all just Big Green Egg stuff and Eggs by the Bay. And so I went down there one day and I met with Smitty, the owner, and I said, listen, I said, and I listed off all the things I have. I've got a La Caja China for, you know, to do whole hogs, and I've got this and that. I said, tell me why I need a Big Green Egg. And he goes, well, from everything that you listed out, you really don't. And I said, and let me give you a little bit more information. I'm really not looking for it to replace everything that I got, because I like things about each one of my cookers. And he goes, you know what, that's fantastic. But I'll tell you, if you end up getting a Big Green Egg, you probably won't use most of your other cookers. And I said, nah. I said, I'll still use them. And so sure enough, I pulled the trigger. I got an XL. He came down, set it up and everything. And damn it, he was right. And I'll tell you, it is not only a fabulous product, because I've gone through, when we moved from California out here, I had a slight crack in my base. Replaced it, no questions asked. I've gone through a couple other things that they've warranted, and it's just, and now I have a Mini Max, and it's been great. But he was absolutely right on the money. It's like, unless I got a 60-pound hog that I got to do in my roasting box, I can do pretty much everything else in my egg, and it's with a flame boss on it, I can sleep through the night, and it's I really like it. There is something to be said about a big trailer rig, or I don't know if you saw one of my lives earlier with Big Rig Barbecue and his stuff, but it's just, but that's the fun thing about barbecue. I mean, I've fallen in love, I assume like you, with Big Green Eggs, but there's so many great cookers out there and that end up doing the same kind of job.
Exactly. And you know what's cool is that, obviously I love Big Green Eggs. I mean, I love it. There's not a person on Instagram or anywhere else that has ever seen anything that I do that doesn't know that I love Big Green Eggs. But I'm also not one of these guys that, if you cook on a Traeger, if you cook on a gas grill, that's stupid. Man, here's what it is. My daughter is right here. Her boyfriend's right here. It's my daughter, Caitlin. And her boyfriend, RJ,
Hello.
What it's all about to me, man, is just being out here with the family, seeing people's faces when they eat my food, especially when it comes out right, is just that's just awesomeness. So if you're out there and you're cooking, I don't care what you're cooking on, man. If you're putting out some good food and people are enjoying it, have at it, man. Loved it. You know what I mean? Whether it's whether it's a Traeger or a stick burner or an offset or a propane grill, you know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. Right there.
All right. Well, gases are a whole different thing.
Yeah, they're great storage units. You know what I mean?
That's right. It's where we carry our plate setters, right?
Yeah, but here, turn around here for a second. Show them. I got a little Weber kettle over there. This Everdur by Heston, that's a rotisserie. Got the pit barrel there. Got another Weber kettle there. Let me give you a little tour here.
Yeah, please.
You want me to kind of walk you through my process of what I've been doing here today too?
So whichever way you want to do it, but I do want to see. So we got a little glimpse of your cookers. I do know that you've got the White Buffalo, the Unicorn, right? Of Big Green Egg. In fact, I think you've got a couple of them. I think you've got a Chimenea too. But yeah, I want to see those as well.
I've got a lot of really weird stuff. So yeah. So let me tell you what I did here quick while we're letting this come up, okay?
Yeah.
I got this is an Australian Wagyu tomahawk. It's about 2.5 pounds. So what I did, I cooked it at about 275 indirect. So I had the expander in here. Should I come on in here? So that one side had nothing on it, and this side was just indirect. So I had the steak here. So now I'm taking this off, and I'm letting this side come up. I want those nice gray coals like that. I want them really nice and hot, okay? Because then what we're going to do is we're going to sear this baby caveman style, and if anybody's on here doesn't know that, we're going to cook it right on the coal. We're going to finish it off the sear right on the coal. So while that's heating up, let me show you what we got.
So Ron, while we're going on a little tour, Mike, cooking with Big Cat 305, who's also somewhere down there. He might be Miami, but he's asking, where are you in South Florida?
Coral Springs. Yeah, I saw Mr. 305. I saw 305 on there earlier. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. So here's the pizza oven, wood burning pizza oven.
Nice.
Come on in. And here, I think you might be familiar with this right here.
That thing looks familiar. A little Blackstone, beautiful.
Yeah.
Although right in between the four burners, it does need a Blackstone Boys sticker on there.
You know what's funny? I just got some in the mail yesterday.
Boom.
So here we have the newest edition.
Oh, look at that!
Got a brand new large. Got to assemble it. Just got it. Okay.
So aren't they so pretty when they're new, all white in that ceramic?
I don't even want to put it together. I just want to leave it like this and look at it. It's so beautiful.
I know.
So here we have the Mini Max. All right. This is what I call my OG large. This is my original egg that I got. And,
Okay.
it's still my main workhorse. I cook on this thing all the time. It gets almost daily use right here. It's my baby. And this right here is what you were talking about.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You are all good.
So this baby does not get used. I have never ever lit this thing, not once.
So is that? It looks like what? About a medium?
No, it's a large.
Oh, it is large. Okay.
Yeah, it's large.
And when was that? So, Ron, what's the history on that?
So there's 100 different stories, and what I am able to figure out best is that back in 1998 they made 198 of these to honor the Florida Gators for their national championship or something like that.
Ah.
And so it's real rare. On one of the Facebook forums, somebody said, "Hey, check this out. That's for sale in Atlanta." I contacted the guy immediately. We agreed on a price. I went right to Walmart and wired him the money, and I said it was in Atlanta. Now I live 10 hours from Atlanta. Went to Walmart, wired him half the money because I wanted to make sure it was as good as he said when I got there. Drove to Atlanta to get it, and by the time I got there, like 10, 12 hours later, he says, "It's lucky that I'm a man of my word because I've been offered well over twice what you're paying for this thing already." So they're in extreme high demand. I had a dealer on my way home call up and offer me more than twice what I paid for it, but I don't want to get rid of it. It's a piece of Big Green Egg history, and I love having it. It's a great conversation.
I'll tell you, the only time that I've actually seen one in person is I was at a business trip. I worked for AT&T, and I used to travel a lot, and I had to travel down to a union forum in Georgia, and I went to the mothership, and they've got their little museum, right, with all the originals and of all the good stuff. Now I think you've got one of the chimeneas too, right?
Yeah, come on inside. I'll show you that too. Yeah, that's another one that I drove to Alabama to pick up.
That's awesome.
Now this is cool because this thing also, even before me, the guy before me evidently knew the value because he's never burned it either. It's never had a fire in it.
Wow.
I know it's real dark in here. I apologize, but
yeah.
There's the chimney. They're real small. I thought it was a lot bigger than what it originally was.
Now I'm having a hard. Is that green? That's green, right?
Yeah, this one's green.
And I think he also made some blues too, right?
If you ever see a blue one or hear of a blue one that somebody would like to get rid of, please keep me in mind. Yeah, it's the
there you go. You hear that, everybody? Ron's going to pay big bucks for a blue chimenea if anybody sees one.
Seriously. But yeah, let's go back outside. So
yeah, that's the blue chimenea is truly the white buffalo of Big Green Eggs, I think.
It makes the blue egg look like an everyday item.
Right.
So all right, so I see our fire going real good here. Oh yeah. Come on in close. Let's take a look at this here. Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah.
We got a nice, serious fire going here. Okay.
I like the blue fires. I got a pair right here too.
Yep, they're. I love them. I actually, Big Green Egg actually makes one, and I only have one, so I tend to not want to use that. So, so all we're gonna do here, that's going crazy hot now. Ready?
Yep.
Stand back.
All right. So Ron, so people that may be watching that have never seen or done caveman style, they're probably thinking, "Oh my God, how do we eat this? It's got charcoal all over it."
Yep, exactly. That's the thing. So what we did is we waited till the lump charcoal got really nice and gray and hot. Okay, and you'll see when I lift this thing up, nothing's going to stick to it. Nothing's going to be there. We're just going to have us a nice sear. It's not ready yet because the coals are still sticking. But look at that fire going. See, what we're doing now is we're trying to burn off the seal on this baby. Okay?
Yeah, it's definitely a very cool way of finishing a steak, especially a tomahawk where you got a handle, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You know, honestly, if I could be honest with you, it's really for show.
Yeah.
But, so this year at the North Florida Egg Fest, I had the pleasure of cooking in Fogo Charcoal's tent and cooking with them. So what we did is we took whole New York roasts, prime New York strip roasts, and we reverse seared them. So we cooked the whole thing, cut it into steaks, seasoned it, and then reverse seared them caveman style. We won that Egg Fest, and they said the voting was ridiculous. It wasn't even remotely close. All right. They said that we just blew everybody out of the water. We had a very good tasting. We used the Fogo rub on it, and it was really good tasting. But I really think that just the crowd standing around watching was really what won us that Egg Fest.
Yeah.
Which I might add was my first victory in an Egg Fest. I had two kind of cool things happen this year. I had two victories. One was that, and I cooked in my first KCBS, my first KCBS event, and really unique. It was a kosher event, so everything had to be kosher.
Where was that at?
I was in charge of turkey legs.
Oh yeah.
All right, I was in charge of turkey legs, and we cooked. I wound up making turkey leg lollipops out of it.
Oh.
Lo and behold, we won first place. Woo! So I'm retiring from KCBS. One tournament, one competition, one first place. I am out.
That's the way to do it.
But but you know, I have a lot of friends that are competition cookers, and I have the honor of writing an occasional blog for Grill Girl Robin, and her dad are competition cookers. You know, so I'd love to do something with them and get a little more into the competition.
So this kosher Egg Fest, where was this at?
No, this wasn't an Egg Fest. This was a regular KCBS event. It was in Boca.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And,
that was local in Florida?
Yeah. No, there's actually a big one in Texas. We did the turkey legs. We did brisket. We did, something else and something else. No pork. There's no pork in the kosher event. So that was interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a couple paper towels across this. Let this rest for a couple minutes here. Okay, we'll just do this.
Flies no good food.
Yeah, flies no good food when they see it. They're all over this thing already. So
oh yeah.
I want to let this rest, but can we go sit over here in the shade for a minute or two?
It's getting hot and now that cowboy get up, huh?
You're digging it, right?
Absolutely.
I want to make sure everybody sees it because I worked hard on this here.
That, you know what? That is Texas sexy right there personified.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm talking about. This USA.
Yeah.
So,
that looks like a bald eagle may have flown over and threw up on you. All right. That's all USA right there.
I'm talking about. Well, you know what else too? Damn Florida palm trees. But I'm also ready because I'm gonna rob the 430 out of Yuma when I get done with this.
Well, and it's good for social distancing as well, right?
Well, COVID friendly, my friend. COVID friendly.
Exactly. Now, Ron, are you from South Florida originally?
No, I grew up in Long Island, New York. I was born in the Bronx. I grew up in Long Island, New York.
The Boogie Down Bronx?
I'm sorry?
The Boogie Down Bronx?
The Boogie Down Bronx, baby. That's me. See? I got moves, too. Oh, my daughter's smacking her face like this right now.
I know.
But, so I grew up, when I was 20, I left Long Island, left my parents, my family, and everybody, and moved to Florida. A year later, they followed me down. Kind of interesting, cool little tidbit about Captain Ron is that I moved to Florida because I was a barefoot water skier up in Long Island and skied some tournaments and wound up getting a job at a ski school down here in West Palm Beach.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what brought me to Florida, which is kind of cool. You know, it was my 15 minutes of youthful fame, I guess, you know, in the water ski world. So
that's very cool. I did not know that.
Hey, you learned something new. Captain Ron is full of surprises, especially when I'm surprising myself by talking about myself in the third person now.
I know. You're right. You got it. Well, listen, I reference myself as Cmac all the time, so that's what we do.
Well, that's because you are Cmac, guys. I mean, you know, it was funny the first time you said, "Oh, yeah," it came through. As, you know, I got a message from Craig. I'm like, "Oh, okay, good."
I know, I get that, and well, and lately, especially working through all the particulars on this, I've had a couple guys say, "Oh, wait, you're the Blackstone boy guy too?" And so I kind of play both sides of the fence, and
Yeah, that's really cool. So that's
yeah,
the other thing too. Is that's probably my second favorite cooker is that Blackstone. My eggs are definitely first, but that Blackstone, I love that thing, and that is how we originally connected.
yep.
On Instagram like that. I don't think anybody's in this shit now.
I don't think
So, but yeah, that was pretty cool. And before we do anything else, I just want to say thank you very much. By the way, I'm a backyard barbecue guy. That posts pictures on Instagram and Facebook. And for me to be included with the people that you have on here and with yourself today, man, I am truly humbled and honored. And I just want to say thank you very much for including me because I really, really, truly appreciate it a lot.
No, listen, I thank you and the rest of the crew. Listen, this is for me, Ribberfest has been a labor of love now for going on 16 years, and my wife puts up with me. She's a vegetarian, by the way, and she puts up with me. She bought me my La Caja China, my pig roaster. She puts up with my meat addiction and my and the other thing that I love to do is organize events. And Ribberfest has just been truly a labor of love. That again, 16 years rolling with all my buddies that I were very, very close, lifelong friends of mine back in California. And when we moved out here to Massachusetts, I wanted to make sure we kept that going. And it took me a little bit of time to get a crew. Listen, it's not hard to get a group of guests to come over if you say, "Hey, we're gonna barbecue, come over and eat." That's not the problem. It's it's finding a dozen guys that want to have some fun, and very quickly out here, I've got a great group of friends that really kind of glommed on to Ribberfest too. And so when COVID happened, I'm like, geez, I just, it's going to kill me to cancel the thing. And I'm saying, well, listen, everybody's doing Zoom happy hours and this and that. And so maybe we can kind of salvage this thing a little bit and have some fun and do it online. And I said, well, let me see if I can reach out to some of these guys that I really respect and that look like they're a lot of fun and that would kind of get into, without being here physically, what we try to do. And listen, just the fact that you got the hat, the bandana, the shorts, and the boots, that says a lot to me. And everybody so far, and I'm sure everybody coming is giving their time on a Saturday, and it's so much fun, Ron, for me to see too. You guys kind of getting into this, and listen, I hope one day that whether I need to do a trip out to South Florida or get you guys out for the next Ribberfest or something, that we can get this group all together sometime.
Let's just say this: if I'm invited, I would love to be at the next Ribberfest.
Oh yeah. You listen. You've got you and the family have got an open invitation.
Back in the day, I was a New England water ski champion. So spent all my summers up in Massachusetts, Vermont, and that way. So
Nice.
I know that whole area real well.
We do have a question from my previous guest, Sean Hopkins, Hoppy Hopkins, wanting to know if you're wearing a Speedo.
What was the name of that Schwarzenegger movie again?
Which one?
Commando.
Commando. Nice. Sorry, took me a second there.
We just went from PG to R.
That's right. So I do like the Big Green Eggs and Ron logo. When did you come up with that?
Obviously it's based on a children's book character thing there. You know what I mean? Green Eggs and Ham, and we kind of took it like that. And my cousin is a graphic designer, so he designed that up for me. So as a matter of fact, now that I got some stickers, I saved the envelope that you sent me, and I'm going to be sending you out some stickers too now. So
Thanks, man.
They're all over the place, man. I think I've gone through about 1,000 stickers, sending them out on Instagram and stuff. So there's one strategically placed somewhere within Seuss Land at Universal Studios that I know is still there. There's one at the Shed Barbecue. There's one right next to the beer tap right there. You know, so
Did you get fed at the Shed?
What's that?
Did you get fed at the Shed?
No, yeah. Actually, I've been there. My job entails travel quite a bit, and so I get the pleasure of being at all these different places, doing all these different things. So we were cruising through Alabama, and I saw the signs. I said, "Oh, we are stopping there for sure." So
That's great.
let's carve this up. Thank you. It's time to eat.
Absolutely.
Whew, look at that baby, huh? Is that gorgeous or what?
Good
so now,
rest.
how you guys like to carve yours? You got to check this thing out. Look at that baby. We don't mess around here. I like to cut that off, the spinalis. That's the special part there. So we're hoping that we didn't oversear this baby. Are we still there?
Yep.
Right.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It doesn't get too much prettier than that.
That's a nice little mid-rare there. You seem to know what you're doing.
I did. This is my second steak I've ever cooked. So actually, I'm in the process of developing a steak rub right now that I'm working with somebody on producing. So
Excellent.
Hopefully we'll get this out there. Let's give this thing a taste, shall we, kids?
Oh, we shall.
This is my daughter's boyfriend. First time ever tasting my steaks, I think, isn't it?
Yep.
Accurate. RJ.
Wow, that's a big step forward right there.
Cheers.
Nice. Cheers. That looks awesome.
God, I love it when a plan comes together.
All right, cameraman gives you the thumbs up. Yes.
Correct.
All right.
I figure it this way now. Even if him and my daughter don't get along, he's going to pretend to just so he can come back for the barbecue.
Exactly right.
But you know what?
How to keep a
It's
boyfriend.
so cool though. But one thing that I have learned is that when I first started, I was buying cheap cuts of meats and everything like that. You know, so through this insane Instagram world and everything, I get to work with some business partners and stuff like that. But this Australian Wagyu, I'm not going to go into a commercial, but I'm just telling you, this is unbelievable stuff. You know, I've learned that I really have a taste for the higher end meats. You know, we don't always have the budget, but when we do get it, it's real nice to get something like that as a treat. You know, and he knew I was doing this, so I went down to Miami the other day and picked this up.
So you can go ahead, drop the name. Where'd you get it? Uh-oh.
It's from Josh's. Excuse me. It's from. Are we there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's from Josh's Premium Meats in Miami. They should.
Wi-Fi looks good.
Should we
Just
go?
laggy.
Let's go inside.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay, cool. Well, if you didn't hear it, it is from Josh's Premium Meats. Look at that. That is just.
That's beautiful. No, listen, I'm a big fan of shouting out our our butcheries and our small businesses, our restaurants and stuff, especially going through this. I used to be in the restaurant business, so especially going through this whole COVID thing, they all need as much support, whether that's a shout out through social media or whatever else. Well, I'm all for that.
Yeah. Well, for me, I mean, this whole thing is just craziness. You know, I mean, I never expected when I started this to be in a position. I mean, to me, for me personally, Big Green Eggs, like I said earlier, is the Ferrari of grills.
Yep.
And for them to contact me and me basically have a basic sponsorship by Big Green Egg Grills, I mean, it's amazing. It's so cool. Like we make some YouTube videos. I had the pleasure of, like I said earlier, working with Fogo a lot too, and I filmed some YouTube videos with them. It's so cool when I get somebody from New York from high school that says, I went online to try and find out how to cook snapper, and boom, at the 3-minute mark, there's Ron Dimpflmaier cooking snapper, and it's really pretty unbelievable.
Now,
what the future holds.
Sebastian from Fogo, isn't he down in your area? Isn't he a South Florida guy?
Yep, he sure is. Yep, he's down in Miami. It's kind of funny, actually. They just moved, but he's about 2 miles away from Josh's, too. So right down there. It's pretty convenient now. So, but yeah, he's down here in Miami, and we met through somebody knew him and somebody knew me, and we wanted to Trompo King. I don't know if you know what Trompo King is, but he wanted to do a cook. So we didn't know. We never met each other. He contacted me. He contacted Fogo. We all met at my house, and we filmed a YouTube video together. And since then, we've all been really close friends. I mean, like really close friends.
That's awesome.
Not just an online friendship. We get together and do things, and because I travel so much, and I've had dinner or lunch with so many people across the country that I've met on Instagram, that I'll be in Minneapolis and go to the Smoky Poet, or out in California, meet up with JC from Jay Christopher, Pun versus Food. Just all these different people that I got to meet up with. It's truly met with people. To know somebody like you. It's just amazing to the barbecue community.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been a common thread through each one of these little segments that I've done today, is how cool, truly good the barbecue community is. Not only, we can make friends before we even really meet somebody, but the support, again, I'm going to say it, through this COVID, whether it's, feeding the needy or raising money or whatever else, it just seems that, the barbecue community, I know Barbecue Rescue and all those out there, it's just, it's some amazing things.
He's gone.
Oh, you're starting to lock up a little bit.
Completely.
Wait.
Huh?
He's back.
He says on his end
It's loading.
Here we go. I think we're back.
How do we go back to Wi-Fi?
I turned it back on.
It's not going back.
I think it's back.
Yeah, I can see and hear you. Whoop, there you go. All right, they'll join back in a second. The Wi-Fi down in South Florida with the humidity is a little touch and go, but here we come. All right, coming back. There he is.
All right. It's probably my Wi-Fi. So, any last requests? That's probably the time. I can hardly hear you at all.
Can you hear me now?
With COVID going on, our Wi-Fi company keeps telling me that there's nothing they can do, but they keep taking my bill away. So they're not charging me, but it's so bad in our area.
So,
but my last bunch of live broadcasts.
Yeah, so let's do this. You're kind of choppy. So 2 things. Number 1, why don't you give us all your social media so everybody knows where they can kind of follow you and so forth. And then at the end, I just, something about the plunge. I don't know, but you can explain a little bit more about that.
I knew it was coming, man. I knew it was coming. Yeah, so I've been invited to do a couple of different live demonstration things, and it started off on one where somebody said, "Let's see you do a cannonball." So, show the pool. You gotta go. Yeah. So, all right. Come on. We'll probably need to stay there though. So show me taking off the boots here. Oh boy. All right.
You don't want to do it with the boots on, right?
No, we don't want to do this with my boots on. So I'm going to take the hat off. Okay. Check my pockets. So once again, thank you so much. It's a Texas thing. So pew, pew, pew. Thank you very much, partner. And like I said, I really appreciate this. My Instagram is right there on the screen, actually, Captain Ron 302, just the way that it seems right on there. So you won't be able to hear me from across there. So let's go ahead and do this. I want to flip the screen so you can see.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. 1 second, please.
You know this is gonna feel good. He's got to be high.
Got it?
Hold on.
Yeah, it's real hot. Hold on. Can you see him?
Oh, yep, got him now.
You ready?
Here's the plunge. Uh, now that's how you end a segment.
Yes, sir.
That
I can believe that.
that looks refreshing. Ron and family, thank you so much for joining us, for being part of the first and hopefully last virtual Ribberfest. And we will I will absolutely see you, whether down in South Florida or next year here for Ribberfest. But my friend, I appreciate you taking the time out and joining us, and continued great things happening with BGE, Team Green, and everything else. You keep on rolling, big fella.
Thanks, Craig. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks again so much. You know, I know you said your wife's a vegetarian. We actually have a vegetarian member on BGE Team Green. So get with me after. Her name is Shannon, Big Green Egg Foodie. So you can take some tips from her and keep the wife just as happy, and make some meat and make some veggies for her too. So
that's perfect.
It's all about the happy family. All right.
That's right.
Thanks
all
so
right,
much.
you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I thank you again, Ron. Appreciate it. Follow Ron on Instagram and everything else. We'll be back, guys. Let's see. We got 3:42. We got the one and only Johnny Maggs coming up next at the top of the hour. So appreciate everybody joining. We'll see you back in a few minutes.